TCIG X Spaces highlights April 2025 Part 3.
I grew up with a few friends who were mining Bitcoin and Ethereum very early on. For everyone's journey through crypto, it's not linear. You pivot as far as what your strategy is, and just trying to understand what your value is in the space. It empowers creators and artists, and any profession could be put on chain. Sometimes people just have the luck of the draw and they get in at the right time, and they see it within the first couple years and they nail down their strategy. But usually it takes people 2 cycles to really understand where you fit in, what you want to do, how to provide value. Anybody can be a part of this. That's the magic in decentralization, in blockchain. It is a bottom-up movement. If you do a little bit of research, you understand that all these different protocols have a purpose. There's purpose everywhere on blockchain. And in order to get 8 billion people, or apparently 8 billion people who live on the planet, on chain, it takes a lot of work. As we go through the last 2 weeks of April and the first 2 weeks of May, Crypto Coin Cases 2 will show another 80 solid foundation, solid infrastructure protocols that are out there. Crypto Coin Cases series will then total 248. They're not going away, and they all have a purpose, whether it's lending, automated market makers, liquidity boosters, aggregators. It is a much bigger ecosystem than you think. Stablecoins on Ethereum have broke a 30-day record for over $1 trillion just in stablecoins moved in the last 30 days. And that's not including Tron and Base, which total up to $1 trillion. So you're talking just in the last month, over $2 trillion just in stablecoins have been moved. The new rails are being built. Wallets will replace everything. But as far as transaction volume, banks will disappear. And I hope I live to see the day that all centralized financial activities, everything is going to AI. 1, therapy, and 2, financial advising. You will be talking to an AI bot about how to create a plan or create a strategy. AI agents that move liquidity across chains to get the best yield, opening up liquidity across industries that have never been liquid before. And the biggest one is real estate. And real estate started TCIG. And that's why we're here, is that real estate is the largest asset class in the world. And it will be tokenized along with everything else. Crypto Coin Cases 2 will cover other protocols within the real world asset sector. It is the sector. If there's one sector that has the most potential of growth, it is real world assets. New protocol within Crypto Coin Cases 2 that I'll just briefly mention. It creates redeemable, what's called R NFTs. So you get a digital NFT that is redeemable for an actual physical item. And so if it's not something that's going to be tokenized from the real world onto the chain, it'll be tokenized, and then you'll be able to redeem it for an actual physical thing. And one of the biggest things is DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure of networks. Basically everything that is physical will be connected, whether that's with a sensor or minted on the chain, and just having a chip that interacts with the blockchain that wraps in IoT, Internet of Things. So literally everything in the future will be connected in some kind of way. I was abreast of the crypto industry quite a few years before 2019. I spent some time out in California, and I worked for a high-end moving company. We moved movie stars, executives, and we did cross-country trips. I would fly to locations to move people into their houses, and that was kind of my start of real estate. I would do tours of houses and come up with estimates, marketing mailers, and all kinds of back-end work. But the physical work I actually really enjoyed it, and I was what we called a master packer. And it's really helped me because I have moved quite a few times in the last few years, and one is coming up. So it's always good to be on the move, I feel like. It's good to get roots on the ground. But just learn about real estate and tokenization. It is going to be a rent world. You think you own a house. You don't own a house. The government owns the house. And even if you paid off your mortgage, the government still owns the house. Learning a lot of these things have really pushed me away from being a real estate investor, and have learned that the real estate investor career will disappear. Every property in the world, every building will eventually be tokenized. And you'll see in this next Crypto Coin Cases that there's already quite a few platforms besides Blocksquare that are doing the same thing. One's called PropBase and one's called PropChain. And millions and millions of dollars. PropChain has 125 million in assets already managed with 1,000 global investors. So you'll be able to own pieces of all kinds of real estate all over the world. And this is another thing with liquidity and opening up investments that have never been liquid before. You would never be able to invest in a skyscraper in Dubai. But now you can go online and find a property you want to invest in and invest in it for as little as $100 and have a part or a piece of that is forever minted on the chain and can be traded, liquidated 24/7, 365. So it's really opening up literally a world of opportunity. It creates a global standard instead of every country being strapped to everything that they do within the country. It opens up opportunities all over the world. And when you operate on an international basis, you realize that the world is a lot smaller than you think, that we need to create a global standard, that anybody outside the US could invest in the US. Like, why would we shy away from more investment? Yes, US is number one. Really, when you think about it, it's only because of the currency, and all the other currencies in the world have been deteriorating just like the US dollar. The world moves with money. But the money that we know of physical money, or fiat, is just a digital signature in a centralized database. And now this opens up a global standard of a database. That is the basis of blockchain. You think real estate value is going up, but it's really not. The value of the currency that we price real estate in is going down rapidly. They printed 80% of all dollars in the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, it's like a knot in your throat. All the US dollars that you've ever known of, that we have ever known of in the world since the 1900s, centuries, 80% of all of it has been printed in the last 5 years. 2020, like the COVID era, saw the most printing of money ever, and we're about to see so much more. Try to reevaluate the real estate landscape and to understand where tokenization is going, because once you understand the full picture, you understand that there really is nowhere else to be. It is a funnel that will encapsulate all of the assets in the world. It is a very complex thing, and it doesn't have to be, but in order to do it safely and securely and efficiently, there are certain tips and tricks that you learn with experience of just, there really is no barrier to get over. You're really just a wallet address away from being on-chain. Once you start going down the rabbit hole just gets deeper. Everyone can rise up, no matter who you are, what your background is, what your ethnicity is, where you come from, where you live, who your family is. I helped 2 other startups expand MagnifiHome, which was minting real estate on blockchain. If you haven't heard of Proppy, that is one of the companies that we've already gone over. And so it just creates a hash. So every transaction or every piece of data just has a hash. And a hash is basically just a string of letters or numbers that represent a certain amount of value or a piece of information on the chain. Learning that, and also where AI and education is going, learning about proofs and how AI is going to be integrated into our education system. Both crypto and AI are suited to level the playing field. And when I say that, it just means that there won't be a level of classes that you need to get into this lower level class or this higher level class. Everything will be individualized. That is very beneficial, that you will be able to learn at your own pace, but you have to do the work. It's just about the discipline and doing the work. You have access to the information. You just need to put it together. AI gives us, again, like a global standard of information. Eliminate waste. A lot of it comes from waste, is that all these subjective teachings. Oh, I had this teacher and that's why I didn't pass this thing, or I don't like this teacher for this reason. I didn't get this grade, so I didn't get into this program, and I can't graduate from this thing. It's going to be none of that. It's going to be, you have to do the work. If you do the work, you get the grade, you move on. There'll be like a guidance system, how to use AI effectively. So TCIG officially launched with 7 board members and 5 partnerships on July 31st, 2024. We have a lot of other people involved since then. We still have the same 7 board members, but we do have some people in the background. We also have a couple other collaborations in the background. The work is done in the background, and we've done a lot of work in the background that people don't even know about, that you don't even know about. It's all about the execution. There's only so much time left, and before you know it, you'll be playing catch up forever. I felt a lot coming to launch that we weren't providing the right value or just enough of anything to create a reputation, because in the beginning I led with tokenization, decentralization, blockchain, just using the word blockchain. There's like so many people out there like, it's not blockchain, it's just Bitcoin. And I'm like, well, Bitcoin is on blockchain whether you like it or not. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency whether you like it or not. RWA, tokenization, that was like the biggest one. Every system in the world that you know of will make its way to the chain, and that is tokenization. But it was really hard to navigate and to create some kind of reputation that we're not trying to scam people. We're trying to provide education. We're trying to provide good information, real information that is backed by, not only go find it from the sources, but is probably minted on the chain. So really anything in the world is fake besides blockchain. Fake money, fake food, fake education, fake people. Lots of fake people. And I think a lot of people get to this point in learning crypto because of how fake everything is. And then just consume the rest of your life. Consume. In one of our blogs on our website, if you want to check it out, it's a great documentary called Buy Now, the shopping conspiracy. From the top down, corporations are pushed every single year to create better numbers. Whether it's good for the planet, whether it's good for humans, whether it's good for anybody, it does not matter. You just need to produce a bigger number the next year. And that is what is killing our world. Not caring about the emissions that you create, not caring about all the waste that you create in products. So making your way down the efficiency train, it comes to crypto.
hop on the train and get on chain. Let's cut out all the noise and build together.